All right, welcome back everyone. Mr. Lang here, and we're going to continue on working on our sprites here. So I'm going to open up my directory, going to my sprites directory, working on Darth Vader, and we'll go ahead and go to our editing image, and there is our GIMP file. We'll go ahead and double click that and let the application load up. And here we are. So just kind of a recap of what we've done so far. We've saved the file. We have cropped and taken out other pixels that we did not need. And now it is time to really work on editing this image. So stick with me here. It's kind of important to do these in this order. If you don't do them in this order, funky things will happen. All right. So let's begin. So first of all, we have our toolbox. If your toolbox is not here, window, toolbox. It will open up to where you have your tools. If I select the lasso tool and my tool options don't appear here, for example, if I click on my eraser and my tool options aren't appearing, again, window, dockable dialogues, and your tool options, and it will open up your tool options. Sometimes it moves it to other parts of the page and stuff like that. That's fine. But we need to begin with our lasso tool. So I have it selected. Here, I'm just going to choose a point to begin with, and I'm just clicking and dragging. And I'm moving around. I don't want to get too close. And yes, I can go outside of the picture as well. Don't want to get too close to Darth Vader, but I don't want to be too far away as well. So I'm just going around. And again, I'm going outside of the image now, back around his cape. And I am going to connect the dots right there. So my lasso tool is selected. I can see it kind of dancing a little bit around it. I have it selected. If I press my delete key point here, delete key. The delete key is not, I will repeat, it is not the backspace key. It is the delete key. Find the delete key on your keyboard. Ask a mentor where that delete key is. Ask Google where that delete key is. If I press my delete key, it will delete what I have just selected. I didn't want that. Control Z will undo that. I want to invert it. I want to be able to delete what's outside of Darth Vader. Control I on my keyboard has just inverted it. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but the lines on the outside of the picture are dancing along with the selection tool that I just selected. Now I can press my delete key. Now those are selected or deleted. I'm going to do a Control S to save that. I now want to make those pixels turn transparent. So I'm going to go up to my colors. You want to make sure that you are still inverted. Make sure that you still have it selected like we did and go down to color to alpha. And now it's saying, well, what colors do you want to turn transparent? I changed my default to have this black. So by default here, it's looking okay. Do you want all the white pixels to be transparent? If I chose okay there, nothing turned transparent because there were no white pixels out there. They were black. I'm going to go back to my color to alpha, and I'm going to choose this little dot tool right there, pick a color from the image, and I'm going to click right there. And I want my black to turn transparent. Thank you. And choose OK. So a lot of you will not have to do that because yours was white and the default was white. So you want it to look like this. Control S, save it up. I save all the time. Now I want to deselect that selection tool. So I'm going to go to my select drop-down menu and choose none. And now I do not have my lasso tool selected. I don't have any really tools selected. So now it's time to start sometimes the painstaking process of getting rid of my other pixels. I'm holding down my control key and I'm going to zoom in to Darth Vader's armpit here a little bit, and that's the section that I want to work in. I'm going to choose my eraser tool, which is this tool here. It may be a different location on your toolbox. Again, if you don't see these eraser tool options appear, Windows, dockable dialogues, tool options. By default, it usually has the paintbrush selected that looks like this. I like to use the solid color one. And then if I hover over here and I say, man, that's pretty big, you can always go to the size of it. And I'm actually just scrolling down now with my scroll wheel on my mouse. You can also click and drag these down with those arrows. You can also click and drag along the selection tool. And it's so big right now that I can't even see it. Again, that's big. I probably want to go down to a nice size, maybe something like this. And now I'm clicking and dragging, and I'm just going around the outside. And I'll fine tune around other parts of it later, because maybe you want to get into a certain area that needs a smaller tool. You may just have to decrease your tool size and go around and just delete these pixels around Darth Vader or whatever sprite that you are using. I may have to use my tools here to move left and to the right. I'm using my scroll to go up and down, and you can move right around it. Key tip. Again, I'm using my scroll to go up and down. If I hold my shift key and then scroll, I can go left to right with the shift key. That is an editor's dream. All right. If you want to use the scroll down here to go left and right, you can do that as well. But your job is, again, to just keep going around. Now, again, in his hand, I can't get into it with the size that I have. I'll go and I'll select a smaller size, and now I can work on getting in between Darth Vader's hand there in his palm and work around. And you want to get rid of all those pixels outside of it as well. Again, that's why I like to go around it rough edge first, and then work on coming back, maybe making my pen size a little bit bigger and getting these pixels out here. If you ever happen to make a mistake, which we do during our editing, and I'm going around and I accidentally go too far in, Control Z, and it will undo that last section. I'm going around, oh, went too far, Control Z. But I'm going to hit Control S quite often. All right, so you're going to want to continue to go around that when it's all said and done. Let me go ahead and show you my final product here. Give me 1 second. So when it's all said and done, this will be what it will look like. I have all my pixels taken care of and they're all out of it. All right, that's what you want to get to. All right, that is your goal. All right, okay, so awesome. Stay tuned for the next tutorial. I'll show you when you get all done with your pixels, you like what you see, you are going to export your image so we can use it in other applications. So stay tuned.